John Jastremski and Anthony McCarron join us now for Table Talk. And, fellows, it was a little over 2 weeks ago the Knicks lost to Orlando, then went out and traded for OG Anunoby. Monday, they lose again with the Magic bench outscoring the Knicks subs 49-20. JJ, we just heard Ian mention it. How immediate is the need for this team to go out and add some depth?
Well, if Jalen Brunson is going to miss an extended period of time, it is immediate. And you really felt it today on this Monday Martin Luther King matinee, because Deuce McBride did a really good job of stepping in for Jalen Brunson. But then when you needed to go to that next level on the bench, you had no answers from a guard spot. So whether it's Malcom Brogdon or Jordan Clarkson or DeMar DeRozan, they're going to need a little bit more in that backcourt, because right now things are super tight in the Eastern Conference. This is a game that slipped away from them in the fourth quarter. A game, quite frankly, Anthony, they had no business losing. Yes, their offense was ineffective, and they had some terrible looks late, missed some free throws. But at the end of the day, there is a need for an extra body. Needs to happen sooner rather than later.
JJ, I love the suggestion about DeMar DeRozan, one of my favorite players in the NBA right now. The guy is pure points. Put him on the floor, and he gets buckets. The Knicks have draft capital to give, too. So, I don't know. Let's get this one done. I mean, I'm all for that. But, yeah, you know, the Knicks don't operate in the same way that a team like Orlando does, where they benefit from a lot of bench work. The Magic are very good at getting scoring from their bench. The Knicks not so much, especially when the pecking order changes, when Brunson is not in the lineup. So, yeah, something has to give there. And I feel like ever since the big trade, you know, roles are still being sort of felt out a little bit. There's a little bit of that to it as well. So maybe there's something more coming, even if you go deeper down the roster. But, you know, look, it's happened a few times now. You know, maybe they do need a little DeRozan action in there and get that going.
I think there's no doubt DeMar DeRozan would be a huge lift for this team. All right, you can certainly give the Knicks a mulligan, guys, with Brunson being out. But, Anthony, how deflating is this loss at home? You had the lead, and the team that beat you right behind you in the standings.
Well, to me, Eamon, the deflating part is the fact that they had an 11-point lead at one point in the second half. They had the 5-point lead going into the fourth quarter. And, you know, I mean, you saw the numbers there. The shooting was terrible in the last period. And you know, they had the game in hand on their floor against a team that they should be beating. You know, they were down a couple of guys, too, the Magic as well. But, look, to me, it sort of underscores the Brunson, you know, the import that he has for the Knicks. And we can't lose sight of that. I mean, you know, Randall wasn't very good, and that's 2 games in a row where he hasn't been himself, really, with Brunson out. So this trickle-down effect there really hurts them. I mean, Brunson's got to get well so they can get going again.
It's a loss that hurts because Orlando is right there with the Knicks when you talk about the mid-tier of the Eastern Conference. And if the Knicks want to go and give you a feel-good April and May, I think it's imperative for them to avoid the likes of Boston and Milwaukee, and to a lesser extent Philadelphia, until you actually have to play those teams. I think if you end up in that 4-5, if it's Orlando, if it's Cleveland, a variety of different teams, the Knicks are going to have a much better chance of advancing in the postseason. This is a game you have a lead in the fourth quarter. Julius Randle missing 2 critical free throws was an absolute killer. And their offensive looks down the stretch. I know Orlando's a really good defensive team. They got to be better than that. And it's one you hope you don't look back on if you're playing Philly as opposed to playing, I don't know, Cleveland in April, saying, man, those games against the Magic, they let them slip away.
Yeah, you definitely wanted this one, especially since it's a team that just beat you recently. You want to show them, right, we're better now and we're improved and ready to go.